Welcome to Uganda for all our guests from those 20 or so countries. I hope you find a second home here, feel at home, and I hope during the free time you'll be able to see a lot more of what the country has to offer.
I'm delighted to welcome you all in this 33rd annual conference of the African Union for Housing Finance, which we are coordinating this week with our Ugandan member, Housing Finance Bank Uganda. My name is Oscar Mgaya. I am the CEO for Tanzania Mortgage Refinance Company and look forward to engage with you around the key question of this conference.
Housing has been a challenge, not only to us in Uganda, but I believe in most of African countries. And I think there are lots of lessons that we can draw from each other.
I think one of the things that's so valuable about a meeting like this, where we have representatives of government from many countries and representatives of the private sector coming together, is that we can use that to start to recognize and build the trust that each party can start to play the role that they need to play along the value chain.
Now, one of the things that government has been able to do, which is quite a good policy, is to allow room for densification. You can be able to buy in a premium location and then be able to build several stories and sell those units individually.
We're happy to be members of the AUHF because it's a good avenue for us to mitigate and against some of the challenges that we incur, specifically in Uganda, in relation to affordable housing finance.
We are proud to host more than 25 countries to talk about the challenges that we share across the grid in terms of providing affordable housing, such as the cost of funding, long-term funding, that is a major challenge, such as addressing demand deficit, and also advocacy for policy from the regulators, especially government, policymakers, and all the other people across the grid.
From our perspective, we usually like to see the affordable houses built first. So we'd like for you to come in with a plan that says, yes, we agree we're going to build the affordable houses first, we're going to research our market, we're going to do full feasibility on the site, we're going to know what our costs are to develop the site, we will have expert opinions from architects and QS and contractors, bids in place, we will fully understand the environment we're dealing with in order to deliver this project. When you come to talk to me at OPIC, that's the kind of developer that I'm looking to talk to.
Part of the innovation in looking to really ensure that we make things more practical is to look at the value chain. When you go on the value chain, title is a big and important aspect of that value chain. And like Uganda, not much of our land is registered and is titled. So you're about 20%. I hasten to say we can't be any higher than that. We may be less than that.
The question for FSDU remains, how can we use technology as a way of encouraging ownership? Therefore, to address the housing challenge, we do need a combination of measures, affordability being only one. An area that we are looking at, for instance, is that around digitization, and digitization of land registries in particular. We think digitization is important not only to reduce corruption, but also to increase transparency and access.
This conference has been quite an amazing opportunity to bring together practitioners and policymakers to address the issue of housing, working through the housing value chain. For us as NMRC, and the value that we get from here is this approach of making sure that we have in Africa a basis for driving policy that would encourage home ownership.
The value of the African Union for Housing Finance has been, for us in ways, has been tremendous in terms of the networks, the strong networks that the AUHF has, from the construction developers to housing finance banks, through leading advocates and industry leaders in housing finance and throughout really the value chain. And for us, it has benefited tremendously in being able to sort of, first of all, really connect with a lot of these key players and industry players, stakeholders who really are doing, really doing a tremendous job in the housing finance sector.
The one thing that I've learned about Africa is that most of the discussions that have tangible solutions come from the top to the bottom. There's very little that has been done to consult from the bottom upwards. So I think a platform like the AUHF is good because it starts to open up the eyes of different levels of stakeholders. It starts to open up the eyes of the people at the top who are actually designing and planning for the people at the bottom. And it also gives the people at the bottom a chance to understand what is it that is at the top. For example, I've heard about initiatives like capital markets and opening them up to have affordable housing.
The federal government of Nigeria has decided to focus on the delivery of housing as a key economic and empowerment strategy. My organization, the Millet Fuller Foundation, was selected by the fund as a key partner to help deliver affordable housing at scale. MFF has commenced what will be a robust pipeline of innovative, low-cost projects to deliver up to 4,000 housing units in 2018 alone, and much more in the following years. Tremendous investment opportunities exist for institutions looking for an opportunity for secured returns, as well as an opportunity to make a difference in people's lives.
My name is Michael Waller. I'm Managing Director of an organization called Safala Capital, and we are responsible for founding a series of mortgage companies in Africa. We founded Zambian Home Loans, and we founded iBuild Home Loans in South Africa. We find this a very useful platform to express our views and to understand other people's views. I get the sense that this year at the conference, a number of things have been said, a number of opinions have been aired, which may materially change the course of housing finance in Africa going forward.
So we find very relevant for us to be here today. We work a lot with the private sector, but we understand that this conversation has to go beyond that, to really find different vehicles, different ways to have a systemic change, which is what at the end is going to bring the opportunity to unlock doors for low-income households to have decent shelter.